Okay, so you've probably heard of many liminal spaces, Backrooms being one of the main ones. Backrooms is a collection of liminal spaces, actually, of which are supposedly an endless amount, and have sometimes entities, sometimes just people, or sometimes neither. Sometimes you're just left alone with yourself. Most things in the backrooms will kill you, some things will keep you safe. Almost every level of the backrooms has a sub-level. Well, no, every level of the backrooms has a sub-level. And after the first 12 levels, you can start, like, majorly going back levels. The first 12 are, safe, so you'll usually move on to the next level most of the time. But after the first 12, it gets a bit crazy. So, we will be basing this off the Bassett-Fraser scale how, for the level rating pretty much, based on difficulty, entity count, and chaos gradient. So, technically level 0 is called the halls, which has a mono yellow floor, walls, and ceiling. Almost all the same color. There is one entity that you can find roaming around, usually, and they can change sometimes, usually not though. Anything can be broken, and it's a non-linear set of halls. Usually just you walk through, nothing much. It is known though for its lights hum buzz, or like bzzz, as you've heard many times, and it's just yellow everywhere. So it gets a 1 out of 5 on difficulty. Not very hard. Can mess with your mind a bit though. Entity count is 0 out of 5 in Sachet. Chaos gradient 1 out of 5. They can change rarely, loops can appear. Non-linear, lights and walls can be broken. So on the Bassett-Fraser index, it gets 0.667 out of 5. So, level 1 is an infinitely expansive interior space that superficially resembles a desolate office, or like a normal office that you could find. The walls are textured with a mono-yellow wallpaper and an olive-red liquid, also known as carpet fluid, which drips down constantly through cracks between ceiling panels, saturating the beige shag carpeting and occasionally forming puddles. The substance is not drinkable. It could cause many bodily harms, such as mutations and rapidly accelerates mental deterioration. All the lights are fluorescent within level 1 and has the super loud hum buzz. They are often broken, leaving shattered glass everywhere and dangling wires beneath. The humming sound can cause many psychological effects such as auditory hallucinations, clouded thought, disorientation, and general anxiety. It is pretty much all rectangular rooms with vastly variable proportions. They can be extremely wide, impossibly tall, or too narrow to enter. The size really is impossible to figure out. It'll change for each room. They are frequently larger than the confines of surrounding areas should allow, which means it's non-Euclidean, or like non-3D, like 4D. And anomalies are common. There are many floors of level 1, such as the sub-levels, and all are 20 meters apart and hundreds of layers of the same damp shag carpeting. Alternate floors you can enter through the cylindrical shafts, which are humongously deep, and pretty wide, so you do not want to fall down at any cost. Um, they are found every few hundred rooms, and so not very hard to find. And, you need a crowbar or crowbar-like tool to get in to pry open the huge iron doors or metal steel doors. Can't speak. And there are dim blue like lights, so it's harder to see. And vents and stuff, which will leak carpet fluid and fiber. It is possible to descend to reach more sublevels or lower floors, but they do not have any distinct characteristics that would define them. So you have to be sure you're keeping track of which floor you're on. There are some checkpoint terminals where there's like a platform or something inside it at the center that extend from the shaft circumference. They also provide refuge, I don't know, from the noise of the fluorescent lights, so you can get away from the humbuzz and let your mind clear a bit. Some sections show sign of extreme damage as if they were partially demolished. Others are completely normal. Plaster chunks from the walls are torn out and left on the floor, usually from a pickaxe, but claw marks have also been observed. The beams of the walls are often torn out and broken, showing signs of stretching as if the walls were supported from above rather than below, which makes it also non-Earth-like, because that is impossible on Earth. Showing signs of stretching as... oh yeah. Some sections of wallpaper appear to be drooping from the water damage and or being torn from the wall. The only way to enter level 1, by the way, is through no clipping from reality. And there are 4 different communities inside here. Well, like tons, but 3 and then camps. So, the UNCB is one of the most, like the biggest backrooms communities out of all of them. It stands for something about United Nations. They have about 100 people in the level 1 capital, and it consists of groups of rooms that with doors that created by the inhabitants to prevent accidental entry. There's also the BRU outpost, which is a research outpost containing about 150 residents. It is used to discover anomalous behavior. The JRC, or Jade Razor Clan, they are pretty much only there because, the UNCB requires that you have to have an outpost. And they have about 131, I think, there. And then there are assorted camps around. To enter, you can only enter through either no clipping through from another universe into there, or by going through some of the sublevels, it'll return you. The only exit leads to level 2 in a special staircase, or by going through level 1 sublevels. So there's level